Alrighty. So for number 3, I put A.
Sorry. 1 second, I'm just pulling everything up.
No worries.
Why'd you pick A?
Because the null hypothesis is supposed to be, what is it?
Independent?
It's the first variable and the second variable are independent.
Or independent or not independent. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what it looks like in the book. A.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is the null hypothesis ever not independent, or is it always like the first one's independent?
First one is independent. So it's the row and then the column. So the gender is the row and then the column is the voting preference.
Okay.
Number 4 is C.
Yeah, that's what I put as well.
Okay. So it's number of rows minus 1 times number of columns minus 1. So 3 minus 1, so 2 times... do you count like all the columns or just ones with the numbers?
I did. So I got 6. 2
It's-
times 3.
Well, because it would be like, you see what I'm saying? Like you only count the ones with the numbers.
It's
Or do you
it's,
count-
it's 1 times 3. So it should be 3 as the degrees of freedom.
What? Well, there's
Wait,
there's
but-
at least 3 rows, so that'd be 3 minus 1 would be 2, if not 4 rows.
Oh, that's true because it's doing total.
So that's what I'm saying. How do you count how many rows? Is it 3 rows or 4 rows? Is it the whole table or is it just the numbers?
I think it's just the ones that have categories. So it
Just
should
the
be
numbers.
1 times
Okay,
2 then.
So it
should
would
be
be. So it would be 3 minus 1 is 2.
2. Right.
So it'd be 2 times 3, so it'd be 6.
Right.
No,
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it should be
There's-
2 times. It should be
Right.
1 times 2 because there's only female and male times.
You don't count the total, you're saying?
Right, because we didn't count the total for
man.
the columns.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You're right.
so it's just 1 times
It's just
2,
1 times 2 should be 2.
Dang it.
and that's 3
That's
minus
confusing.
1 is 2. Oh, that's confusing. Okay.
Okay, the requirements. In 2.1, it lists the requirements. You must use simple random sampling to obtain the data, and each expected count must be greater than or equal to 5.
So
Yeah, it's met.
So it's the second to the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And then this value is 16.20.
That's for number 7.
Yeah, 16.20.
you said 16.20.
Yep, right.
So why in number 6 is it not A? There are 5 observed counts.
It says in at least
Oh.
one cell.
So how do you find number 8? Is that like, do you have to put that into an Excel?
Yeah, so if you look at my screen, I have the Excel file open.
Mm-hmm.
So it wants 3 decimal places, so it's just 0, 0, 0. Because the p-value is 0.0003.
Huh. I wonder if she didn't say 4.
That's a bummer.
0.000.
Should we put 0.0003?
It just says 3 decimal places.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we get it wrong, we can email her. Which of the following statements best describes the outcome of this study? It should be A.
Well, you mean, no, it should be D.
No, because we reject.
It does reject. So there is sufficient evidence to suggest. Well, because the null hypothesis is that it's not independent, right? I mean, that it is independent.
Right.
So if it rejects that, then there's sufficient evidence to suggest that
because we reject,
they are not.
Right. So which is the first one? Because we reject the null because the p-value is lower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait.
Right.
That's technically doesn't make sense because it's saying suggests that are not independent, and the last one saying that they are independent. So those both technically mean the same thing. If it's not independent, then it is independent, and then the last one saying that it is independent.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
It says there is sufficient evidence to suggest that gender and voting preferences are not independent. So that would mean that it is independent if it's not independent. I mean that it's independent.
No,
but then the last one says there is.
They're different because it says not independent and independent. So the first one would mean that they are dependent.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
I was like,
that's super confusing.
Okay, so they're saying that it's not independent, so it's dependent.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
What the heck? Yeah, that's dumb. Okay, so it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that 10 is true.
Where are the requirements?
So location and the motivation of the chiropractor are independent, not independent.
Because all it is sample random sampling, and every cell has to be greater than 5.
Oh, it's the same.
It doesn't say if it's random sampling though. You know, the other one said it in the.
Well, the previous question didn't even care about the random sampling. It was just asking if there was like enough rows or enough count.
Yeah. But the last one said a public opinion poll surveyed a simple random sample of 1,000 voters.
That's true.
And this one doesn't say that. So I'm not sure.
Because it could be, I guess it just wanted simple random.
Because it says you must use simple random sampling to obtain a sample from a single population. Wait, this is for a chi-square test. Is that the same thing as the...
X squared? I think so. Yeah. Because at the beginning of the chapter, it just says the x squared and then in parentheses chi squared.
Oh, yeah, okay, duh. Alright, I don't know, because it doesn't say that it's simple random. So how are you supposed to know?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Um,
I mean, you could argue false if it doesn't say that.
what about the data in the program? I wonder if it says anything in there. The chiropractor.sav.
I don't think so. I think it's just the same. It's just the same data that you do like number 11 and 12 with,
Okay.
or something, or 12.
Hmm.
12 and 13. Yeah. So we could open that into SPI or whatever,
Well,
and
look at
instead of
the
typing them all in.
look at the table.
Already typed in the information.
Look at the
Oh.
table under number 3 in the chapter. It's the same exact table. And it meets the requirements. It's just the numbers are changed.
Where does it say that it meets the requirements?
Well, it doesn't. I'm just assuming that it does because they're using it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put true. Just guessing.
I don't know. I just don't get it if we're supposed to just assume it is without it saying it, because the last question said it. So I don't know. What do you think, Spencer?
I'm just reading through the text real quick to see. Yeah, because at the bottom of the blue box, when it talks about how they got the data, the inferential statistics, it says that the requirement that expected counts are at least 5 in each cell are met.
Yeah, it does.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to say true. Okay. And then for 11, I got 8.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And then I got 7.4.
Say it again?
7.44. It should be on my screen, just under.
Oh, yeah, it is. There you go.
Right there.
Okay, I see. It's the p-value 0.490.
Mm-hmm.
So which statement describes the outcome of this study. So there is sufficient evidence to suggest that self-care is the best reason for visiting a No, wait.
Does it have to be greater than 0.5 or 0.05?
0.05.
Okay.
So we failed to reject. So it should be insufficient.
Oh, that's right. I don't know why I was thinking 0.5. Duh. Okay, yeah, so there is not sufficient, there's insufficient evidence. It's not independent of the location.
Yeah, that's what I put.
Okay.
That's all of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got 100% again. I'm so excited.
Nice. Okay.
These group quizzes are like a million times easier than the homework, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
they are. Oh my gosh.